Pokemon since I was about, I don't know, 3. I've loved this series since, and I always will. It has a special place in my heart, man. It is amazing. And just seeing your boy Ash Ketchum go through it all, and somehow not age, and also my childhood being ruined because maybe Ash Ketchum is actually in a coma. Because if you think about it, how can a 10-year-old be 10 for 20 years? Or it could just be that Ash has never hit his growth spurt. We don't know. But sadly, Ash could be in a coma, but we're not going to question that. Wait a minute. That doesn't make cap sense. Because if he hit his head, then what happened to Pikachu? Because, like, there's nothing, maybe, like, Pikachu died or some crap? No, we're not having that, or whatever. So, my Pokemon anime journey. I would, of course, be a Kalos trainer, because I love Kalos. My favorite region, it's where I started Pokemon, because I'm only 12, so I barely ever saw Pokemon. I saw like the last season of Unova, and that was not a good season because, like, we all know Ash is crappy in that. And even as a 3-year-old, I was mad when Ash lost. I saw Pikachu lose to a Snivy in the first episode of Black and White when I watched when I was about 8. On my Xfinity on demand. Alright, let's get back into this. So he'd be a Lumiose trainer, and he would choose my favorite Pokemon, Greninja. Going to Professor Sycamore, grabbing his Pokemon. Yeah. Ash hasn't started his journey. Ash is only 5 right now. Christian is 10. As he gets his first Pokemon, Greninja. Okay, no, not Greninja, but Froakie. He asks the professor, "Hey, professor, what's wrong with this Froakie? It looks sick." He goes, "I took it to Nurse Joy, and she said that it was perfectly fine." Oh yeah, the biggest family in anime is 100% the Nurse Joy family. Yes, Pokemon's anime. If you didn't know that, you're pretty stupid. Because many PokeTubers keep on saying, the Pokemon anime, and I think that should be ingrained in our brains already. And Pokemon is probably the most kid-friendly anime in the entire world. There's nothing more kid-friendly than that. Unless Avatar gets some, like, anime graphics, then, you know, that'll be good. Whatever, back to this. So, Christian would be a master. I'm kidding. Christian and Froakie would have an amazing bond. As then by his 5th gym, he'd already have a Frogadier. As he'd be training his off with his 3 Pokemon. His team is, right now, is Frogadier, Fletchinder, and his favorite of all, Salamence. I'm kidding. Shelgon. He likes Shelgon a lot. It's one of his favorites. I'm kidding, he has a Bagon. He's only level 26, basically. A couple of weeks later, he finally beats the gyms, and has now have a shiny Greninja. A black Greninja. He's wondering why this Greninja is black. It's supposed to be blue, but he doesn't mind. He's gotten some extra special training. He's trained with so many gym leaders, even battled the champion but got defeated. And now he's entering the Kalos League. He sweeps the entire thing until he has to fight Diantha, who's a brand new champion. Christian's got a Greninja, a Talonflame, a Salamence. Another Kalos Pokemon that we're going to have on his team is Eetislash. After that, he's got a Clawincer. And for his final Pokemon, not his ace, but he does have his favorite Pokemon. Okay, no, it's not his favorite, of course not. And his last Pokemon is Liepard. I'm kidding, his last Pokemon is Absol. He's basically tied with her entire team. And now it's time. Greninja, versus Gardevoir. It starts off with Greninja slicing and slicing at it with Cut. Trying to hit Gardevoir until it finally lands a hit, knocking Gardevoir back. Christian says, Water Shuriken! As with 2 Water Shuriken and 4 more, Gardevoir just puts up a barrier and blocks them all. He goes, that's strong, isn't it? He says, break through! More! As he says, throw more! As he's about 12 when this happens, remember this. Ash is about 7. Christian says, come on, more! As he throws so many more, which are hitting and cracking Gardevoir's barrier until Diantha finally Mega Evolves and says, Gardevoir, Moonblast! It hits Greninja, knocking it out in just one shot, is what you think. But then it appears right next to her. With it, Christian yells, Aerial Ace! As it hits. You know what I didn't realize? How in the games, Aerial Ace doesn't miss. But in the anime, it always misses. It barely ever hits. And when it does, it barely does anything. Christian is landing multiple blows on Gardevoir. Because with Gardevoir's giant dress now, it's way easier to hit. Christian says, let's go! Water Shuriken! As they have an insanely strong bond. So their attacks are so synced that Christian can't do what Diantha can when she's fighting Ash. You know, Christian says, come on, Water Shuriken! As Gardevoir blocks it again, but then the barrier cracks and one last one hits. Christian says, cut! As he cuts right through. As Christian's got one last move up his sleeve. Christian says, let's go, Greninja! Our last move in our arsenal! Let's go! Use Hydro Pump! As he goes, Grenin! And with his final, he goes for a Hydro Pump, which launches a humongous attack. Going... As it goes... As Gardevoir's barrier cracks and it hits Gardevoir. But Gardevoir's perfectly fine as she says, end it off. Your last move, Moonblast. She goes, Gardevoir! As it hits Greninja, defeating it. Greninja goes, Greninja! As he tries to wake it up, but it won't wake up. As Greninja finally wakes up, he goes, thank God you're alright. As he puts it back in his Pokeball and congratulates Diantha. He decides he's gonna go train in the Ninja Village. This is very similar to Lumia's Trainer's X, but don't worry, it's gonna take a big turn. He trains with the ninja in the Ninja Village 4 years, but he does hear a legend about the special Greninja. Christian says that he's gonna work his ass off to get that. And he's gonna be a much more mature trainer. As Greninja's new moveset is Water Shuriken, Double Team. Okay, no, it's Water Shuriken, Night Slash, Substitute, and Gunk Shot. My dude's running an insanely good build. He knows he can take on, and he was trained for 4 years, so he's now 16. So now he hasn't unlocked the form, sadly. Then the master of Greninjas puts a hand on his back. Basically, the old dude puts a hand on his back, releasing Greninja's ultimate form. Greninja's newest form, Break. Greninja Break. Greninja turns full gold and is now way stronger than ever. Christian says that hopefully they can defeat Diantha with his power. But he says that that Diantha's probably matured as well, so you probably won't be able to beat her. But I have faith in you, young warrior. You two are so in sync that you could probably defeat her. And he also, when Christian heads off for the Kalos League, and he sweeps it. The old teacher forgot to tell him that the transformation only lasts for a little bit, and then it goes away forever. That's just a quick transformation to help Greninja adapt to new powers. Christian says, let's go, Greninja, as his last Pokemon. She goes, let's see if you've gotten any stronger. Go, Gardevoir! Christian, without even doing anything, Greninja activates Break as she goes, oh, as Greninja blitzes with an Night Slash in hand, it cuts Gardevoir, knocking it back instantly. As she instantly Mega Evolves and shoots out a Moonblast. Christian says, cut it in half. Night Slash! As with full power, it cuts it in half. A Dark type beating a Fairy type as he comes in and slices through Gardevoir. As he goes, as they're clashing with Water Shuriken and Psychics, with Moonblast and Water Shuriken. As then the break form goes away and Greninja's hit with a full-forced Moonblast. She says, Shadow Ball! And shoots out 10. Christian says, Water Shuriken! As he launches him out. He says, alright, you substitute! As it goes away, she goes, oh. Christian smiles, saying, Gunk Shot! As a Gunk Shot lands on Gardevoir, hitting Gardevoir, almost defeating it. But Diantha says, use your final move, Ultimate Moonblast! As this is an ultra humongous Moonblast, which it expands 10 folds as it launches it. As Greninja can't do anything, Christian says to use Night Slash to try and cut through it. As Greninja goes to cut it, but it doesn't work. It's clashing and Greninja's defeated. Christian says, we've been defeated again! As there's nothing this kid can do to beat Diantha. As he walks away. As he asks Professor Sycamore how he can train better, and he says that there is a couple of ways. Number 1, travel the world and gain strength. Number 2, inventions. So yeah, Christian would also be about the same age as Red, because remember, Red is pretty old. Red is only like 12. But I'm going to say Red is about 16. About 15 now. Actually, no, Christian's only 13. He's only 14. So Christian and Red are both the same age. Christian would actually meet Red while he's in Kanto, catching new Pokemon and training as hard as he can. He participates and actually defeats Lance with his Greninja and his whole team. He took out his entire team except for his Greninja and sent them, as he got more trust with, he got friends with Professor Oak. So he sent him his Pokemon, telling him to please take care of his Talonflame and all the rest of his Pokemon. As Ash has already started his journey, as Ash is right now, I'm going to say right now he's in the Orange Islands. Christian would defeat all the Elite Four and the gym leaders, encountering a boy named Red on the top of a mountain. I'm kidding. That doesn't happen. He meets a boy named Blue who's taking over the Viridian Gym. Christian tells him that's pretty cool. As Blue says, Christian asks if there's who's the strongest trainer, and Blue says that they're probably in the Johto region right now, but they are from Kanto, and his name's Red. Christian says that after he trains for a while, because Christian finally defeats Lance, as the break form ran out, and that did serve as like a potential boost. Christian walks out as he catching two new Pokemon from Kanto, Arcanine and Gyarados. I'm kidding. He catches a Gyarados. Okay, why do I keep on saying Gyarados? Arcanine, and for his starter, he chose Bulbasaur. He chose a Bulbasaur because he really likes Bulbasaur. But he decided that he can't have it because it's already gone. So he finds another Pokemon. He finds a cool one named Dewgong. Now Dewgong is an insanely powerful Pokemon, but he won't be using it at all. He sends it to the professor since he already knows, and Dewgong isn't fit for battling. He does also, though, catch an Eevee, which he doesn't evolve. As him and Greninja are full on in sync, so they're mastery of their bond. Then he'd head to Johto next, challenging, as he would call Professor Sycamore, and Professor Sycamore says after you finish Johto, you should head to Hoenn, then Sinnoh. Sinnoh is where my old teacher, Professor Rowan, was. Christian says, alright. So after Christian travels in Kanto, Ash would already be in Sinnoh. Christian would travel in the Johto region, catching a little bit more Pokemon, catching a Heracross, because I actually like Heracross, and his new Pokemon, Ampharos, because I like Ampharos actually. Next, he asks Red if he wants to come along on his journey, because he still has goals, and he wants a strong trainer to do it with him. Red says that only if you defeat him in battle. Christian says that that's going to be hard. You are a Pokemon champion, and I'm not known for defeating them. Christian says, Red says we'll have a one-on-one solo. As he pulls out his Charizard and says, Charizard! Christian says, Greninja! I choose you! As he does the signature Ash twirl. As he goes, As he goes, Greninja! Red says, Charizard, Dragon Claw! As he goes, trying to hit him. But Greninja dodges out of the way with little to no difficulty, and Christian says, Aerial Ace. Because Christian changes up his moveset as he lands it, knocking back Charizard as he goes, as it breathes a little bit of fire angrily, as Red says, Flamethrower! As he goes, Christian says, now. As Greninja puts out one finger, which water envelops it as he cuts through it. As he cuts through all the flames, Red says, you're strong! Charizard, let's crank it up! Use Fire Blast! He goes, shooting it out. Christian says, use Water Shuriken! Two Water Shuriken instantly cut through and hit Charizard in an explosion. Red goes, you're seriously strong! Charizard, Mega Punch! It envelops his hand as Greninja dodges, as he's dodging most of Red's attacks. But then Red lands a hit, knocking back Greninja. He goes, Grr! As he slides. Red says, you have an interesting Greninja. I don't even think Greninjas come in the color of black. Christian smiles at him, telling him that's what's special about Greninja. If you want to see Shiny Greninja, search up Shiny Greninja. It's really cool. Now this next Pokemon doesn't exist. I'm kidding. He says, Charizard, Mega Evolve into a Mega X. Christian is starting to lose as he's losing ground as Greninja can't keep up with a Mega. But then something happens. Christian says, keep calm. As this is his most toughest battle, even tougher than when he fought Diantha. As then he goes, as he's about to get hit, Greninja activates Ultra Instinct and dodges and lands an Aerial Ace, blasting him back as he goes, as then a water vortex swirls around Greninja as the forehead turns red and black, and then a Shuriken appears on his back with some red parts of his hair. Oh yeah, Christian's wearing Nate's outfit from Black and White. He likes the outfit and he thinks it's pretty cool. As he goes, Greninja! As it's evolved into Chris Greninja. I'm gonna call it Chris since my nickname is kinda Chris. It's into Chris Greninja. Or Christoshi Greninja Gekuga. Christian goes, whoa! As the vortex disappears, as now it's just a Shuriken on its back. Along with, Christian says, whoa! As in his head, Greninja tells him the technique so that he's brand new. Christian says, Water Shuriken! As it spins on his back, as he pulls it out and throws it at Red's Charizard. Red says, Mega Punch! As the two attacks clash, but a piece of the Water Shuriken breaks off into a smaller Water Shuriken and hits Charizard's arm. He goes, now, Ninja Blade! Greninja creates a Water Blade from its side, as now it's got a sword siding on its left. Because if you don't know the card, Ash Greninja, it's got a move called Ninja Blade. As it goes and slices Charizard. As it goes, come here! As they're really clashing hard. Christian says, stronger! As he lands a knee in the stomach to Charizard. As he goes, ugh. Christian says, come on, let's go! Use your full power! Use Ninja Blade! As he rushes and hits Charizard again, knocking him back. Christian says, Kagebushi! As the two run. at each other. With full force, they run at each other and hit each other for a giant explosion. Now, no one can defeat Red's Charizard, is what he thinks. But then Christian yells out for him to use his maximum power attack. Solar Reflect. I'm kidding. Giant Water Shuriken. This Water Shuriken is huge. As it lands a hit on, it lands a ginormous hit on your boy Charizard, but Greninja faints from exhaustion. Christian falls to the ground as he's unconscious. Red says, this kid's interesting. I guess I'll take him to the Pokemon Center. As he takes him and his Greninja to the Pokemon Center, and that's it for this part.